Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub. Phil's, your local dive with music for the people. Chaser's Food and Spirits. Excel Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thank you, Zach Dresch. Hey, everybody. Before we get to who's on this week's show, I must tell you about what's happening for Fellowship Jazz Center and Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. April is Jazz Appreciation Month, and to help celebrate, Fellowship Jazz Center has the third annual Jazz Crawl taking place this Saturday, the 25th. Full evening of live jazz across downtown Sioux Falls. 6 different groups, multiple venues, and an unforgettable night. So grab your friends, follow the music from stop to stop. Then, on Thursday, April 30th, 1 week from today, celebrate International Jazz Appreciation Day with a special concert at the Orpheum Theater. The Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra will be joined by guest vocalist Andrea Ross. Woman has a powerful voice. It's going to be a powerful night of music. And I happen to have the privilege of hosting that great event, so come join us all for that. Alrighty then, as for the task at hand, episode number 317, we speak with Laree Giovannettone later on in the show. She's in Old Town Dinner Theater's production of Murdered to Death, which opens May 9th. Now, in just a few minutes, Dan Heier from Fellowship Jazz Center gives us the details about those events that I just told you about. So come on in, join us. We're waiving the cover charge once again here at the Dipsy Doodle Production Studio. Dress code, very casual, because it's warm out the day that I'm recording this. We have a few seats open. Just make sure to bring your own beverage. I already have my Jasper Newton in hand. But first...
Honey, look at this!
Unbelievable!
Yeah! Yummy!
I know!
That'd be fantastic. You know what I'm talking about.
Dave's Fave! Each week, we salute a person or business I feel is worthy of a shout-out for any number of reasons. This week's Dave's Fave is Devin Bassard. He played Edna Turnblad in the premier Playhouse production of Hairspray. Now, if you didn't get to the show last weekend, you're in luck. It's going on this weekend, too. Devin is a show stealer. The show got a huge standing ovation, and according to my ears, Devin's part of the curtain call was the loudest. He played Edna better than any Edna ever could have played Edna. If you're wondering what else I like, go to the Dave's Fave page on the show website, davehollyhour.com. After you look at that page, go to the trivia page, see our schedule at Chasers, West 12th and Ellis Road. Stop in for great food, great beverages, and fun times. Now, there will be no trivia this Monday, as my love and I will just be getting home from a quick trip visiting my sister and her family in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Trivia will resume Monday, May 4th at 7 p.m. Honorable mention. What made Dave laugh, chuckle, chortle, downright slap my knee silly, or simply fill my heart with happiness? It hasn't happened yet, because it's going to happen tonight. This week, it's Good Night Theater Collective. I had to reach out, but was not able to have anyone on to chat about the musical Chicago. It opens tonight. I am a big fan of that show, and have been wanting to see it again, and especially see it with Good Night Theater Collective. See, they had the rights, but then I think it was, I can't even remember for sure, but something happened that it couldn't be held. And they were worried whether they'd have the rights yet when it came time. Well, they do. So we're going to it tonight. It's such a classic musical. Has all the different themes you think of when you think of a musical, all intertwined and with such a great cast. It will be amazing. So looking forward to that. As my love and I are going to it tonight, and by the way, if you are as well, say hi before the show starts, or during intermission, or you might even catch me afterward. Later in the show, we talk with Laree Giovannettone. Up next, Dan Heier, on the Dave Holly Hour. If you're looking for a night out that's a little more memorable, Trio Jazz Club has your week covered. Friday, catch the Jimmy Frost Trio, a rising voice in jazz, bringing rich baritone sax and deeply expressive sound to the stage. Saturday, Fellowship Jazz Collective returns with 2 shows, celebrating local talent and the heart of the jazz community. Then Tuesday, Jeremy Haig is going to be playing solo, piano, and vocals, delivering a smooth, intimate performance that you won't want to miss. And Wednesday, switch things up with Comedy Night, featuring Dante Paul, plus live music before and after the show. So whether it's jazz, laughs, or a little bit of both, grab your tickets at triojazzclub.com and experience it live.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Towne know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or xochiros.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Walking through the entryway of Phil's Pub, you can't help but notice the show pics and posters from the heyday of live bands in Sioux Falls. Phil's is back. They're on their way to reestablishing their iconic live music venue status. Come on into Phil's for a great local brew. You might just find yourself seeing some of the performers in those pictures, and a very good chance you'll see new acts that will end up being in pictures too. Phil's Pub, your local dive, with music for the people. Follow them on Facebook and other socials. Keep up to date with who's playing at the pub each week here on the Dave Holly Hour.
He's jazzed to the eyeballs. Once again, here's Dave Holly. Crikey, mate.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, yeah, you know what I have to say at the beginning of every conversation is that I love conversing about Sioux Empire, arts and entertainment. And, I love it when I've got a guest that comes back, not only comes back, but often will ask and say, hey, Dave, we've got this going on. I'll make you the MC. Can we be on? And that's the case once again here. Dan Heier, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dave?
If I were any better, I'd be twins.
Oh,
Get twice as much done.
boy, wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, it would. Yeah, I want to slow the clocks down. I'm to the point now where it's like, okay, should we maybe have 30 hours in a day? And then maybe I actually would get 8 hours of sleep.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'd still probably fill up the rest of it, that's for sure. All right, so we're doing well. But how is Fellowship Jazz Center and Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra doing here in April, Jazz Month?
So Jazz Appreciation Month. It's a big month for us.
That it is. Man, you got some stuff going on, too.
Yeah, we do. So, at the beginning of the month, it was on April 1st.
That's right.
No April
fooling.
Fool's joke here. We had a wonderful jazz jam. And the weekend before that, we just finished up our Jazz for Young People series.
Which was phenomenal.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun, so much joy. It was really cool. And then and then this month, our bigger events we have coming up is Saturday, April 25th. We have the Jazz Crawl. That'll be downtown Sioux Falls. We got 6 different locations.
Right.
And then on International Jazz Day, which is April 30th, celebrated across the world here in our corner, we got the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra playing at the Orpheum with special guest Andrea Ross on vocals.
Wow. I've heard her a number of times, and she is amazing. And you were mentioning beforehand that it's got to be nice because Terry Brooks couldn't make it, so Jeremy Haig is going to be filling in, playing the piano, as if he's really a fill-in and so forth.
Yeah.
And he's actually, he's arranged a couple of her songs, hasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And so when Terry was unable to make this one, it just made a lot of sense to ask Jeremy.
Yeah.
And he happily obliged.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, he is such a pro. And, that's the one thing I just get so enamored about with musicians, and especially jazz, is that they're so interchangeable if need be.
Mhm.
Yeah, and nobody's really, quote unquote, oh, hey, don't mind him if he missed that. He's just a fill-in. No, everybody around here that I at least talk with about music really has no problem just jumping in and helping a band out. And that's just a great thing. But I love this band, the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. I have emceed for you a couple of times already. I will be so again this time on the 30th, and very much looking forward to that, especially with special guest Andrea Ross. But give us an idea of what types of things we're going to hear in this particular show.
Absolutely. I did want to mention one thing with Jeremy. So this is going to be the first time we're having local arrangers, I mean, so Jeremy, because he arranged, like you mentioned, 2 or 3 of Andrea's tunes that she's singing. And so I'm really excited for that, because that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
And so, but tunes, here we go. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. We're doing a tune called Dolphin Dance that was written by Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
And Herbie's really kind of like the face and like of International Jazz Day. And I was like, so I went to the artistic committee, like, we got to do a Herbie Hancock song this time. And so he had this great arrangement, a Dolphin Dance that he did with the Mel Lewis Orchestra, probably back in the late 70s or 80s. And it was really cool. So I went to his website. He had the arrangement for sale. And then he emailed it to me about 5 minutes later.
Nice.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
And so,
in fact, I just heard that song on Real Jazz a couple of days ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really cool melody.
That it is. Yeah.
And so that'll be kind of our nice little nod to Herbie Hancock, if you will,
for the international aspect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. And then another tune that I believe CJ suggested that we do, it's a Horace Silver tune called Jody Grind. And this is going to be the Clayton Hamilton arrangement of that. And then we are bringing one song back from our very first concert by the Thad Jones Mel Lewis Orchestra, called Big Dipper, which is just so much fun. And then, of course, we've got all the vocal tunes, Dave.
Yeah.
So we have a number of like Judy Garland, a couple of Judy Garland styles, Diane Reeves and Gordon Goodwin arrangement of Too Close for Comfort. And Jeremy's arrangement of this wonderful blues tune, Blues in the Night. And if you've heard Andrea in a smaller group settings before, like I played it with her at Trio,
right?
So it'll be really cool to have that tune expanded,
right,
for big band.
Get the whole orchestra in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, some other just very classic standards, from the American songbook, such as When I Fall in Love, I've Got You Under My Skin, That Sunday, That Summer. Time After Time. I'm not going to say them all because, we have to have a couple surprises.
Exactly.
But they're going to be very cool arrangements, and we're just so excited to have Andrea join us this concert.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. That is for sure. And, there's nothing wrong with the standards. That's why they're standards.
And they get reinvented every time.
And that's one of the things we've talked about so often with jazz, too, is, okay, you've got a concert this night. You're going to play it at a concert later on. Probably not going to sound the same. Things might have changed there.
Yeah. Well, the format will be the same, but everyone's personality. The solos are going to be different.
Right.
Sometimes, tempo can be a little bit different as well, and just different aspects of the music and how people are feeling in the moment. Yeah.
And so this is going to be a good thing. Now, how do people get tickets for this one?
All right. So tickets are available at the Sioux Falls Orpheum website, or the Washington Pavilion, basically box office as well, and
3E or E3 or whatever it is.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
But so you can go to the Orpheum Theater in Sioux Falls' website. Now, there are many Orpheum theaters. So
Right. Make sure you choose Sioux Falls.
Yeah, Sioux Falls, and as beautiful as Sioux City's Orpheum Theater is, as you know, that one pops up a lot of times for me too. So, but yeah, the Sioux Falls Orpheum Theater. You can go right to their website, I believe, because it's on their landing page now. On the home, you can see it right away because it's upcoming events.
Yeah.
So,
what's it take to draw people that aren't experienced with jazz listening?
Boy, I wish I knew how to answer that question. But I think the biggest thing for us is just offering authenticity. And, I run into this, like, you have conversations with people, and some people like jazz, like what jazz means to one person is completely different.
True.
What it means to, because it's a wide genre. And someone might have heard something, and I deal with my students all the time. They're like, well, I don't really like jazz. And I just straight up say, yes, you do.
Like, you just don't know.
You just maybe haven't heard. And then all of a sudden, as you get to know people better, I found like it may be what they like. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, hey, can I show you something? They're like, yeah. And I play.
Right.
Like maybe like I have some students that are, they're in choir and all that stuff as well. And next thing you know, I'm playing them the newest Samara Joy album. They're like, this is so cool. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it is. Hey, you like jazz. or at least you at least found something within genre. Yeah. Just like rock music or any style of music, people have preferences of what it feels good to them.
And the crossovers that you have now, in fact, there are a lot of songs. In fact, I think Spotify has a list. You just ask for jazz covers.
Yeah.
And you're going to hear so many different things and go, wow, I never thought of that song coming out in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. There was school. I actually had that experience with this relatively recently. This vocalist named Michael Mayo, and he did the version, a tune made famous by Miles Davis, 4. And all of a sudden, like, it just had this crazy groove to it. I mean, so like I knew he was singing 4, but it was really tough for me to find like where the pulse of it was. But I'm like, this is really cool. I gotta sit down and figure it out. And his whole album was filled with ways of interpreting these classics in ways I would have never personally thought of, and I'm so glad he did. Well,
I think to a time that I saw Joel Shotwell down at Trio, and his cover of "What a Wonderful World" was slow and melodic, and it sucked you in.
Yeah,
and it's just like, wow. And to be
played with Joel a lot. I never heard him do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it was Al Bervin that night.
Probably
on drums. And it's just, and by the way, we needed to introduce Dan properly. So first of all, he plays drums and cymbals. He is the official director of cannoli sales at Trio Jazz Club, and he's the supplier of coffee for the Dave Holly Hour when it's his turn to be a guest.
Hey, I'm just here to help where I can.
Yeah. How'd we do? Did we cover it all?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you look forward to most? Let's say it's time to set up your drum set and cymbals. What's going through your mind of what the night's going to be?
I've sort of learned. I've been trying, and it doesn't always, because, I'm only human, so it doesn't always happen. But the biggest thing that I always try to do is really not to have expectations. And not to say, not expectations of, is it going to be good or is it going to be bad or anything like that. Just the expectation of just like, what I expect of myself is just to be in the moment, to experience the moment. it's kind of like I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but like my mantra's like, well, if I can be better today than I was yesterday, that's really my goal. And so the more I play, the more I try to actually just do deep listening to everything going on around, and not even putting myself in a box. If that makes sense. It's ultimately boils down to just being in the moment. And as well as just sharing what we do. True. And having a good time doing it and sharing that joy with others in the audience.
One of the things we've mentioned so often is also, the improvisation that takes place in jazz.
Yep.
Do you recall at what moment or general time frame really, when all of a sudden you got it when it came to improvising?
Oh boy. I still don't think I got it. Like it's a constant journey.
Yeah.
I can remember when I decided I'm going to do that someday.
Okay.
That was, so I grew up in a small farm town, and I had my first drum teacher up in Aberdeen, South Dakota area is where I grew up. Said, if you can play jazz, you can play anything. So now I don't necessarily agree with that statement per se. Okay. But I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should dive down this jazz world. And I remember getting a couple back then instructional DVDs of drummers, and they would talk about jazz. And so it kind of started pointing me into a direction.
Right.
And then when middle of my sophomore year in high school, my family moved to Sioux Falls. And I was just so excited that I could go into the mall or Best Buy or Barnes & Noble, and they had a jazz section. And I was like, whoa, what's this? Okay. I didn't have this where I grew up.
Right.
I had dial-up internet. And so, you didn't have to wait 10 minutes for the CD to load. So I remember, of course, I've heard of Buddy Rich, right? And he had these tribute albums where it was like the world's greatest drummers at the time. They were produced by Neil Peart, the drummer for Rush, and every track had a different drummer. And so I remember picking that up and going, cool. So, all right, I picked it up. I had money for 2 CDs, and then I just started looking. And I remember seeing this photo or the CD with a really cool like basically headshot, and that's when I learned of Blue Note Records. And I was like, man, this guy's name sounds familiar. I think I stumbled across it on like drummerworld.com. It was Art Blakey. And I was like, all right, well, it's a cool looking album cover. I got money for 2. Decision made. All right.
Yeah.
So I purchased them, and of course cars had CD players back then. And I listened to the Buddy Rich album. I went, man, this is so cool. I can't play that. Like, I don't have the skills to play this right now. I was pretty young and green. And then all of a sudden, I remember later on, maybe that day or the next day, I don't exactly remember when, I put on the Art Blakey thing. And, the piano, and I'm like, I can do that. I'm like, that was so cool. And then I heard that Art Blakey press roll to lead into his groove, which was a shuffle. So straight up what some would call a jazz shuffle. But he just played a groove the entire track. I was like, I can do this. I mean, I'm going to have to work on it a lot just to get the feel. But I was like, this seemed attainable. And then all of a sudden, like, you read liner notes, and it just is, and it's a continual path of discovery. So like going like, oh, wait, Lee Morgan was on that. Hey, he has albums. And you hear of people like Miles Davis, obviously. And then you're like, oh, John Coltrane has his albums. So does Cannonball Adderley have albums? And long story short, I've spent a lot of money on CDs, but just kind of like, it's fun for me, just to kind of hear how they interpret music.
Yeah.
And then, you just doing some transcriptions and just drawing inspiration from that. And I still do those things today. We all try to find ways to solo better and be in the moment, and to convey, or better ways to maybe convey the ideas that are in our head.
All right. Did you have a vinyl before you had CDs?
My parents had a vinyl record that was player that was pretty much in storage. I remember a few times. So I grew up with CDs. CDs.
So what are you now, digital, or do you go out and buy some vinyl?
Both. I have an Apple Music subscription. And to me, that's just all that is like when you used to go into record stores and you could like demo.
Yeah, very true.
Like, like listen to a song. Like I have bought more music because of that. And the other side, the great thing about having a digital subscription is with teaching is I don't have to carry my CDs.
True.
Or remember which ones, stuff from my library that like I would like to show students if we're working on certain things. And it's just a great way to hear what's new. To me, the downside, it's almost so much that, at some point, like I'll save all these records and then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm a dad and I don't have a lot of time. And so sometimes if it feels overwhelming, then I just clear out what I'm listening to and basically start over, unless it's for like specific gigs or something.
All right. So how many tunes do you have in the library then?
Probably thousands. I don't know, 10.
Okay. Yeah, because I know like Jeremy Hague has over 10,000 or something.
Yeah. I mean, if I were to...
And he probably wrote half of them anyway.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, a lot of that, it's probably also like it's research, for all the arranging he does.
Yeah.
As well as like just a genuine interest of a wide variety of music. I mean, I don't want to speak for him, but I wouldn't doubt if that's a big part of.
Oh, it's very true. Yeah.
Part of why people have that library. There's also other schools, and it's interesting. Even though I've amassed all this collection, like there's stuff that grabs you, and you just keep going back to it for whatever reason. Whether it's for me, Art Blakey, or Mel Lewis, or the Beatles. Or Aretha Franklin, yeah,
right.
It's just like
eclectic.
There's all sorts of stuff that, for whatever reason, it makes me feel good, and I keep revisiting it.
Yeah. Well, that's what we all do with music.
Yeah,
if we like it, feels good, we go back to it.
That's right.
That's why I still listen to a lot of things from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Made me feel good at important parts of my life. We'll put it that way.
That's right.
Impressionable, let's say. So when you come in here, you're going to be talking jazz. We're just having a conversation. What is the one thing we've never talked about when it comes to jazz that you think we need to bring up?
The one thing we've never talked about with jazz that we need to bring up. I don't know if we've talked about this. And it's about we kind of started talking about with the culture, like if we asked when someone just straight up says, I don't like this style of music. Okay. It's kind of like saying whatever it is. It could be country, could be rock, could be jazz. But if we talk about jazz for a minute, in maybe a little bit more of a cultural way, okay, especially after it became, let's say, formalized in education, higher education, whether it's high school or the school systems here or on the collegiate level. One of the biggest goals, I think, for Fellowship Jazz Center, and part of the Jazz for Young People series, is to not make it elitist. the community here is very good, very warm, very welcoming.
Yes.
And you can see that at the Jazz Jam. And I just don't feel that's always the case everywhere. And
True.
And I would really hate it, like, if someone stopped playing in jazz band because they felt that sort of pressure.
Yeah.
Is that, if that makes sense? And the other thing, that's kind of a deep topic,
Right.
The other thing is, and it's been really cool. I get to go work with all these jazz bands and hear them at jazz competitions, or festivals where they get to perform for 20, 25 minutes and they get a little bit of feedback from folks like me or regional professionals that they get in to adjudicate. And I'm so happy to see there's a lot more females playing
Very
jazz.
nice. Yeah.
And and that's also like, hey, Andrea's the first female to play with the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra. And I'm just so excited for it. I think it's really important for kids to see that.
True.
As well.
You bring that up about, the culture of it and so forth. I have a T-shirt idea for you guys.
Yeah.
It'll say, I'm not a jazz aficionado, but I am a great jazz appreciado.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
I like
You
that.
appreciate jazz.
My idea
what it
was
is.
keep calm and eat cannoli
Yeah.
T-shirt. So, which those may come out, just FYI. But
Gotcha.
yeah, no, it's and whether you appreciate it or play it, it's for everyone.
Right.
It's such a, I guess one reason why I love it is such an honest music. And the more I keep studying this and like, even trying to keep up with like who's playing now, like a great example of that would be Emmanuel Michael, who's from here,
Right.
Sioux Falls, and he's in New York City now. And just to hear him on all the newest records he's just been on recently within the last year, and knowing him and his compassion for humanity. I mean, he's the nicest person on earth in my mind. Like he's a one of a kind person,
He
both
is,
on a
man.
human just level as well as a musical level. And I just love like hearing how he like not trying to like put boxes around what is this or what is that, and just experience in person. And he does such like his compassion and empathy just pours out of him musically when you listen to him play. And I just think that's so cool. Like when you're listening to Emmanuel, you are literally listening to Emmanuel. Like he respects the tradition, he has studied tradition, and he has also found his own voice.
A phenomenal voice at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, he can play. No doubt about it. All right, so let's just kind of recap a couple of things. Here we are in April in Jazz Appreciation Month. And how do people get involved in Fellowship Jazz Center overall if they just want to be, patrons of it and so forth?
Yeah, you can visit our website, fellowshipjazzcenter.org. We have and that's a great place if you go there and you sign up for our newsletter. We have a monthly newsletter, sometimes a little more often, especially if we have we have a number of events coming up. So we'll remind folks of what we have coming up. But the newsletter is probably the best way to stay up to date. But we also do have social media channels, and so we have Facebook, Instagram, and if you just look up Fellowship Jazz Center, that will pop up, as well as we have a YouTube channel as well.
Oh, fantastic. And boy, that component of education has become such a great component for you guys because jazz jams, they tend to be sold out.
Oh, yeah. Almost every month.
And boy, there was great response for the kids program that you had.
Yeah, it was really amazing. And we're hoping to somehow find a way to maybe even partner with the city or school districts or something, just to, keep it going. I think it would be a great idea to have this to do this series at the libraries.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe during, or something like that, where it's kind of just it's a
in a separate
spot.
room, so you don't get shushed by the librarian, though, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Man, they're so loud, and now you got 30 kids with shakers and tambourines, but not cymbals. Only I get to play the cymbals.
That's right.
So, no, I'm just kidding. So yeah, we hope to keep spreading those educational components. I do want to mention, so speaking of education, so right after our events in April, we have a great trumpet player. He's an all-state jazz band clinician this year, Rex Richardson. He's going to be at the Jazz Jam.
Oh, nice.
And he'll be joining us, so I'll probably be more of a mix of half concert, half jam.
Oh, sweet.
As well. And I think that's cool for kids, especially if they made it into all-state jazz, they can come actually see their clinician, play right before that. I think that's super neat, and maybe even have a chance to talk with him, ask questions and all that as well. And then after that, we have a guitarist from New York City that one of our board members, Bob Simpson, when he goes out there for work, he met him, and so he's going to be playing at Trio Jazz Club. I think that's May 8th and 9th, but he's doing a free clinic at Josh Rick's place on Saturday, May 9th. I'm pretty sure I got those dates right. But that's Saturday. And it'll be at 11 a.m. at his new location over kind of Kiwanis and 12th Street area.
Oh, he moved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that Walgreens on the southeast corner. And it's just south of that, I think, couple buildings. Looks like a big warehouse style building.
All righty. Now I know what to look for, because I still got to get him on the program at some point.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right. So the Jazz Crawl, Saturday the 25th.
Yep.
And starting at what time?
That'll start at 5:00, I believe. And the venues are kind of varied time wise. So at 5:00 we will have Jim McKinney and Dan Peterson at Brick's Wine Bar. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go by location versus time. It's easier in my head. So we're going to just go next door. Trio Jazz Club will have the Fellowship Jazz Collective shows at 6:30 and 9:00. And then at Mary Bella, we'll have Edwin's group, Latitude Ensemble, from 7 to 9. And then go around to the other corner. Blarney Stone Pub is joining us this year. And so Bobby Grip's going to have a jazz group in the basement, the former
old
Touch of Europe space.
Man, that was such a great place.
And you know what? They're going to have live jazz there again that night. So it's from 7 to 10.
I love it.
So for all you Touch of Europe fans, it's maybe an unofficial reunion. You can go down into the basement and enjoy a drink and hear some live music again and catch up with old friends. And then we got Smitty's Dakota Lounge Quartet. That's a great piano player, Steve Smith, in town, featuring Kevin Massey, trumpet player. And that they're going to be at the Myrtle's Speakeasy.
Okay.
I don't have the schedule.
Part of it?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't have the schedule. I believe they're from 6 to 9. And then we also got the Full Circle Book Co-op.
Okay.
And Jacob Muller, young guitarist, will be playing there. And I believe that time is from 8 to 10.
All right.
Those are all on the social media channels with the correct times.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure I got it correct.
Send them to the socials. And then, of course, April 30th, International Jazz Appreciation Day. Andrea Ross joining the FJCO.
That's right. And we do have an opener now. I got it confirmed. The Augustana University's blue and gold jazz combo. And by jazz combo, it's still, I think, 11 people. And so it's a larger jazz combo, but they'll have a very eclectic mix of music and some kind of the more modern takes, if you will, on jazz.
All right.
So
yeah, they always put on a great sound.
Yeah.
Not about it. Looking forward to all of this. Regrettably, I am out of town on the 25th.
That's all right.
Yeah. I'll be in Music City, though.
Oh, you're going to be in Nashville.
Going to be in Nashville, yeah.
Well, maybe go to Rudy's Jazz Room that night,
All right.
And check.
We'll put that on the list.
There you go.
Okay, fantastic. Dan Heier, final question.
All right.
Boy, I got to think of something fun now because you've been here so often. I think you've answered everything. Let's go with, what is your favorite fast food?
Whoa.
If you're going to go through a drive-through, what are you picking?
It's probably Jimmy John's.
Mm-hmm. They're freakishly fast.
They're, depending what location you go to. In Sioux Falls, they are very fast. Yes. Sometimes when you're traveling, not so much. But my daughter loves it, so that's a big reason why we go there. And it's it's not greasy like the other places, so I don't.
Yep.
I feel better after eating it in comparison to the other places, and it's just a good sandwich. No thrills, just a good sandwich.
They always have nice bread.
The bread is always very
Yeah.
In college, I would get the day-old bread all the time, just not even buy a sub. I just walk in with $1 and get a couple, loaves of bread.
Well, there you got it. Yeah. All right, my friend. Thank you so much. It's always great to have you here. It's such a pleasure to talk jazz with you, who is closer to an aficionado. But I'm always grateful to be an aficionado of that form, that genre.
Well, thank you for having me on again and talk about Jazz Appreciation Month.
Yep.
And it's always a joy to be here with you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we'll for sure see you April 30th.
Yes, you will.
At the Orpheum Theater.
You got it.
In Sioux Falls, not Sioux City.
Not Sioux City.
Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls. Or Omaha has an Orpheum too, don't they?
They
Twin
do.
Cities have Yeah. So Sioux Falls, Orpheum, Sioux Falls. Hey, thanks again, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota Avenue. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463. Walk-ins welcome.
Get your tickets now to one unforgettable night of jazz as the Fellowship Jazz Center Orchestra celebrates its one-year anniversary April 30th, which just happens to be International Jazz Appreciation Day, which just happens to culminate Jazz Appreciation Month. And FJCO doesn't just bring the typical 16-piece this time around. The evening will feature special guest vocalist Andrea Ross. The Boston Globe says she's a phenom whose poise and pipes are astounding. Her rare blend of sophistication, soul, and swing makes her a perfect collaborator for this milestone celebration.
So celebrate with FJCO Thursday, April 30th at the Orpheum Theater in beautiful, historic downtown Sioux Falls. Show starts at 7:30. Get your tickets at SiouxFallsOrpheum.com.
And now, more of the Dave Holly Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, it is such a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment. And I love the chance to have somebody new come into the Dipsy Doodle production studio. And it just keeps that guest base growing. You know, we're well over 425 guests now out of the 317 shows. You know, obviously there are people that have been back, some many times, but it's always nice to see a fresh face come in here. And from Old Town Dinner Theater, we have Laree Giovannettone.
Thank you, Dave.
I had such a handle on it until you told me that you say Towne, not Tony at the end. Because I'm sitting there, that's got to be Italian. It's got to be a Tony then, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, great to have you finally get the opportunity to sit down and have a chat with you.
I'm so glad that I get this chance because I've been listening off and on for a few years now.
Yes. Yeah, we're 6 years strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good thing, you know, and especially since my love thought it would go 3 episodes. Nah, he'll give it up. He'll be upset about something, but no,
Look at
it
you
just
now.
kept getting better and better and better. You know, I think about it. Sometimes people say, "Well, you know, was there really a bad one?" First of all, I've only had to edit 4 times. Because I want it to be natural. People want it to be that way too. But one time was somebody had a very, very long day before we had the opportunity to chat late evening. And she was trying to remember everybody in the cast and missed one and then just sat there waiting for like 4 or 5 minutes before she remembered. And it's like, okay, we're not going to make somebody sound bad that way. You know, we're not going to do that. And then there was the gentleman from the Twin Cities that was driving down to Sioux Falls later that weekend to perform at one of the local establishments, guitarist, singer-songwriter. And he was originally slated to do it the day that he came in because he wasn't going to be performing for a couple of nights yet. So I thought, oh, that worked perfectly. And then he goes, no, he says, I'd rather do it like Tuesday or Wednesday from up here into Twin Cities. And I said, okay. I said, do you have an Apple phone? Well, yeah, that I do. I said, well, that's great. I will call you. I have something that I can adapt on my mixer that'll make it sound very good as long as you do 2 things. He says, what's that? I said, do not use it on speakerphone and make sure you're in a relatively quiet room. But, you know, if you're in a coffee house or something, there's ambient noise in the background. That's no big deal. So I give him a call the morning that I'm supposed to. And he sounds perfect. And he says, you know, I should really get to a better space to be able to do this. I'll call you back this afternoon. So he calls back, and he's driving on the interstate system in Minneapolis on speakerphone with his windows down in his car.
Mm-hmm. What a difference.
Yes, I did not go to his show when he came down to town then. But I'm going to the show that you're going to be at Old Town Dinner Theater that opens this weekend. I'm not going to be there this weekend. We're coming on the 15th.
It opens May 8th. So.
Oh, what am I thinking about? There's so many, and I just keep getting.
It is so busy.
Yeah.
Especially this weekend. There's a couple of them that I want to go to. And
me too.
And
Chicago?
And yes, the circus is in town too.
Oh, wow. I'd love to take my grandkids, you know, but
I haven't gone for a long time, and I was asked to go.
You were asked to go. Oh, you've got a circus date.
Yes.
That sounds interesting, especially since I was a circus clown. All right. right. So opens May 8th. I'm going on the 15th, I do believe.
Wonderful.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And hopefully our dear friend Richard will be joining us as long as the elevator at Shriver Square is working. He's even older than I am, which is old, and he's been stymied for many months of the elevator not working. And he uses a cane. Says going down wasn't so bad, but walking back up, because each of those flights is 12 steps because it's high ceilings in there. And he lives on the 6th floor.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was tuckered out, he said. Yeah. I don't know why I just used a Norwegian when he's, from the East Coast. He's just tuckered out, David. That's the way it was. So, I'm funny, I say that in an accent because you've been practicing on yours.
Yes, I have.
Because you are in Murdered to Death.
Yes. And this takes place actually at my manor. It's an old English cottage or manor on an estate. Not really sure of the location or anything, but somewhere in England. And I am expecting visitors for the weekend. And being an older lady, it's been a while since I've had a big event like this. And I'm a little fretful and worried about things. And got a few longtime friends coming over, as well as some that I may have just met. And then the chaos happens of who did what. And the characters that are in this show are just, I'm having a hard time not laughing, especially when I'm not.
Yeah.
I've been laughing on stage too.
I have seen a great deal of those performers that are your castmates, and that would do it. So what made you choose wanting to be in this play and auditioning for it?
I haven't done anything with a British accent before, so it's a challenge, but yet I'm up for the challenge to try that, because then I found out that there is just like American English, there are many dialects of British English. Mine is I have some wealth, so I will be
aristocracy.
Yes, I will be more posh than, other people. There might be somebody there with a Cockney accent or just some of the slight changes.
Yeah.
And one thing I've been learning is that I definitely announce my T's, roll, pretend I don't have any R's anymore, and my A's or A's are different.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait to see it in that regard. I almost had regret in that regard. But it's fun, obviously, because I love coming up with different dialects and just doing different voices. One time I think I did 76 of them.
Oh my!
Yeah, but I can't remember past 7 anymore. 7 at night too.
Yeah,
I can't remember past that.
Yeah, I'm not that well versed. Definitely not.
But it is fun to do that and experiment and so forth. And how long have you been doing theater?
I actually started theater back in high school. A couple of my friends were like, "Hey, let's go out for that." But I only got, the ensemble parts. Never had any big roles or anything like that. This is my largest role with the largest amount of lines to memorize. Yeah. And I'm working on them still.
What is your line memorization process?
Yes, because I've been asking other people as well, because I did take a long hiatus there, 27 years from college to my first one was at MCAP.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was only 7 lines that I had to learn. That was no problem. But when you get these longer amount of lines, or if you remember last time in the book of Matthew, I had a bunch of medication to remember.
Oh, yeah.
That is difficult because of the pronunciation of all that. I use an app called Script Rehearser. And I have also done writing down your lines. I haven't done them yet for this one. And there are a couple of parts of a scene that I'm going to, because I keep on forgetting bits and pieces, because it is a scattered sentence where I make mention of one thing, something in the middle that's totally not related to the first part of it, and then off the wall with, hey, go, a command to go do something, So I will be writing those down soon. I just have to find the time.
See, I romance about doing that, but anyone that knows me will tell you my penmanship is horrible. I broke a finger one time, and it kind of threw everything off from there, and it wasn't good to begin with. So I would love to do that, but I write down a note of, don't forget to do this. So it's high importance that I don't forget to do this, David. And I look at that note later and I'm going, yeah, okay, but what? What did I write down? What is this? It looks like hieroglyphics. So I just, hopefully at some point, 2:00 in the morning, the memory snaps in, says, oh, yes, that's right. Yeah.
Our director, Jean Beau, is saying that about his own handwriting. He says, I really should type these because the notes I want to give you, I don't understand.
Oh, and what an absolute great guy.
Yes.
Yeah. And, what he does there at, Old Town, it's just phenomenal. And if I were, I'm to the point I hardly ever drive. So me doing an Old Town show would be very, very difficult to do. That and the fact, like I told you, I can't even remember past 7:00 now. So it would be difficult in that respect and I've got mobility problems. But other than that, man, I would love to be on stage at that place, if for no other reason.
Then if you're his direction, huh?
Yeah, his direction. And then, of course, you get a meal afterward every night.
Yes, the meals afterwards are great. I look forward to the dessert the most.
See, I do too. And I shouldn't, being a diabetic, but it's like, oh, come on, this is a special night.
Although the soup, most nights I take the soup too. Yeah, it's a very good thing.
Yeah.
The whole meal is really good. I encourage people, and that's the things I've said to even some of my coworkers. I'm like, a group of you guys could get together and maybe volunteer one night too. If you're afraid to, tickets are too expensive, there are volunteer opportunities as well.
Yeah. And, another great thing is that's a final Sunday one. It's just the dessert. Yeah. Wow. We've done that a couple of times, but see, our big thing is she loves chicken. I love beef. So we each get one of them, and then we each split it and just have a little bite of the others, and then bring it home, and we'll make extra things out of it. Especially Sunday morning steak and eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing then.
A lot of times I've taken the steak home and reheated in the air fryer. That is really good.
Oh, really? Or, sometimes actually make true steak sandwiches.
Oh.
Where you've got steak, you just slice it and you get out a hoagie bun. Oh, man. I love to talk about food. It was a demon for me for many, many years, though. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, see, that's one of those tough things. I keep thinking of all the things that people get addicted to. And, for the most part, you have to go cold turkey. And then you might slip, but you have to keep going at it. When it's, especially for those that are addicted to drugs or alcohol and so forth.
Yeah.
People, and then, of course, they talk about the eating disorders for the people that throw up to be skinny.
Yes.
And nobody really thinks of people that are overweight that just be a little bit more supportive, if nothing else. Because I remember one time I'd been losing about 40 pounds and was at a picnic that night. And gentleman saw the picnic items because it was a potluck picnic. And he says, "Hey, Dave, is this on your diet?"
Not a very supportive thing to say.
It's like, my plate is empty. I haven't chosen anything yet. And, I don't know why it is, but there's so many people that root for people to fail.
I think especially with diets.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just even...
Or once you have dieted and done well, just make sure you don't have any of it come back. Yeah. That's like, come on, people. But, and I love that, it's kind of funny that we still have so much of that because we're seeing a lot more people that are saying, forget you, body shaming. I'm accepting who I am, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine and I had to, one time I was about 420. He was over 500. But we prided ourselves on two things. We dressed well for big men and smelled good.
Oh, that is very important.
Yes. Oh,
the smelling good. It is.
A little slip of the British there, too.
Yes,
important.
I'm working on it. I told you.
Had you ever attempted any other voices prior, in terms of on stage?
Not on stage, no. Although, if you do remember my last one, I was a very angry woman.
Yes, you were.
I made sure I was very audible. It's the biggest thing. Not that was really a challenge.
It played well. It played very well.
It did, because I saw people for months afterwards who could still remember me from that. So
yeah.
I think it was good.
And were they also somewhat scared?
Yeah, they were.
Oh, that's great stuff. What is the part that you would love to play?
Oh, that is a great question.
Only 16 minutes in this time. Normally it takes me about half an hour to get to a great question.
I hadn't really thought of it because most of these parts that I have been taking are, I can find, even though it's a character, I can find some relation to myself, right. my personality or whatnot. And I just enjoy that. I don't necessarily, I would have loved to be in the Chicago musical, Mama Morton.
Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
Absolute classic role.
Yeah.
Did you audition for it?
Yeah, I did.
Ah, dang.
Mm-hmm.
I'll twist some people next time. Say, hey, you're missing out on something.
Yeah, I'm missing out.
Yeah, and boy, they had the rights to that. Good Night did several years ago. And then was that a victim of COVID?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, because I remember it was going to be, back in the day when they were doing their shows mostly at the Icon. And they had the pre-publicity photos taken already. I think it might have been COVID. I'm not positive that was the reason.
That
but something happened.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so now they have it back, and very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. One of my favorite musicals.
Very good. All right. Mr. Cellophane. Love that one. See, because that's one of those that, sometimes you feel relatability to a part or a character, an actor, and just go, yeah, been there and had to go through that before. That is for sure. Yeah.
Walk right through me.
Yeah. So at what age did the acting start, and were you already like a singer or piano prodigy at age 8 or anything because your mother told you had to take piano lessons?
No, as far as piano lessons, it was quite interesting because my 2 older sisters had to take it at a younger age. I think it was age like 6 or 7.
Wow.
But we had a piano in the house, so we got to, right? Well, the piano that they played on was given to someone else, and my mom acquired another one later on. And I believe I was an 8th grader when I started playing piano. And then in high school, joined chorus, joined the plays. So 13, 14.
Okay, yeah.
Probably 14. I have a September birthday, so one of the older people in the
in the class.
And then,
that's right. We could go right around with you earlier because you had your license.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Believe it or not, I was able to drive when I was 13.
Oh,
because farm kid took driver's ed that summer, June, July. They gave me the permit, and I was allowed to drive before September.
Wow.
So. Yes.
Very cool. And you were a hit.
Oh, I was. Oh, I could tell. You want to hear the story?
I do.
Oh my gosh. I was the hit. And this happened before, I would say it was before my 14th birthday that actually happened. But I had the oldest car on the farm, and it was a Plymouth Satellite. So, somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I had taken it with me up to Orient.
Okay.
And we were doing a fundraiser for softball. And everybody leaves their keys in the car up there.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of my softball girlfriends had to do a quick run a mile down the road, and a mile down the road, it's still gravel. And this car it wasn't the greatest, handling on anything, especially if you're not, there was like hardly any power steering to it and rear wheel drive. And they had taken it without saying anything.
Oh.
And I don't remember if it was to or from the farmhouse that they were just picking up a girl, picking up something that she left at the house, and they flipped it.
Oh.
And they had been gone for 3 hours, and I'm like, where's my car? And somebody said, oh yeah, they took it. And I'm like, what? They took it and they didn't even tell me? We happened to another gal's car and head north of town, and didn't see them, but saw my car, 4 wheels in the air.
Oh.
And we're like, oh boy. We turned back around into town because, first off, we don't have cell phones then.
Exactly.
Go
find a service station to call home. Yeah.
Right. Well, it was the weekend, so not much open. But we went to one of the girls. One lived out of town, one lived in town. We found them. They were hiding in that house. And we just pretty much all started bawling because we're like, what are we going to do? How are we going to tell this?
Yeah.
And we didn't do anything for too long of a time, didn't tell anybody. The sheriff saw this car, it got reported by somebody who drove by. So the sheriff came out, ran the plates on it, and it happened to still be registered to my deceased grandfather because we're really great at updating things. And my mom was working in Miller. She worked as a nurse, and she was contacted asking if she knew who this grandfather's name was. And she's like, yes. Could you tell me where he's dead? He's in the Polo Cemetery. That's where he's at. So she knew it was me. And the at that time, the parents of the girl whose house we were in, they found us. We're all like crying in the bedroom, and I tell you,
stuff. Yeah,
fun stuff. Grounded for a while.
Yeah. Did the car have a name?
I did not name it.
Okay. Do you do that sometimes though?
Yes.
Yeah, we do too.
Yeah. My current car, I call it Ruby once in a while, or for show.
See, ours is Rudy.
Ooh.
I'm guessing yours is a red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color is ruby red.
Okay. Yeah. We've got a nice deep red Honda, and it just, man.
Yeah.
We love that vehicle. Well, my wife does, especially because she finally learned how to parallel park.
I don't need to. I've got a button for it.
Oh, yours is just a button. See, she's riding high just simply because it's got a camera in the back. She can light it up. But it's so. Can you push that button to get to Worthing?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
No,
dang.
it is not. It's a regular.
Yeah.
It's a Ford Taurus show.
Okay.
Yeah, so just the higher end model,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes.
That's the main thing. Point A to point B.
Yep.
Yep.
And no, there's no driving like without hands free or whatnot. But parallel parking, all I have to do is push that button, make sure that my foot is on push the gas lightly to start it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've used the brake or had my foot on the brake just because I don't want to hit anybody, but I hardly parallel park either. So.
Right. Yeah, that makes a big difference.
It does.
See, I used to brag about it. Before the cameras came out, it's like, I can do this. Yeah, I knew it. I grew up down in Rock Rapids, and our driver's ed teacher told us, all right, we're going to learn how to parallel park, but I'm going to give you a hint. We are going to be parallel parking at the easiest spot to do so in town. Mm. And we're like, well, where's that? He says, in front of Skogmo's department store. We're like, why is that? Says, because they have huge windows that the sun reflects off of, and you can look at yourself as though you're looking in a mirror.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, yeah, it was very helpful, actually. Yeah.
Yes. I'm very happy about my backup camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In our garage, my husband actually backs in his pickup all the time. It just fits better.
Yeah. My first roommate outside of college, he would have loved that. Yeah. He always backed in the spaces because he never knew when his battery was going to die and he'd need to jump.
Oh, yes.
And we're finally, after 40 years, I'm going to see him in about another 5-6 weeks. And I'm wondering if he still parks by backing in all the time. Because, he did it for so long. Does it just become habit that you always do that?
I bet he says it's easier. Even in a parking lot, he says it's easier.
Oh,
especially
true.
with the bigger vehicle.
Yeah. Have you been tagged yet with it? On Phillips Avenue?
No.
Is it over 15 foot long?
We don't usually take his vehicle downtown.
Okay.
It's usually my car.
Yeah, because I've been wondering, since they implemented this, it's like, okay, great, but have you actually ticketed anybody? Because every time we're down there, we see about 10 vehicles that are breaking the law. Breaking the law.
That's great.
Yeah. So what do you look for in a character? You had already mentioned, the fact that you realize that each character in some way has something you can relate to. But is there one thing in particular as you're studying a character that you go, ooh, either A, this is going to be easy, or B, this is going to be tough, but I want the challenge?
I have not necessarily thought that about any of the characters that I've taken, and some of the parts, I honestly will tell you that I rely on talking with the director as well as my cohorts in crime.
Right. And in this time, it is a crime.
It is a crime. Yeah. And just asking for opinions, especially those who are, they have 40 shows under their belt, because each one's a little bit different.
Right.
And that's some of the interesting things about acting with some of them again. I'm looking forward to that because they, last time they were so much fun to be around and you get that character interaction and see, what are they going to do this time with theirs?
That's all. It keeps you on your toes, and
yes,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever thrown out any zingers to somebody when there was a spot where people were forgetting their lines maybe and you needed to save the scene?
There were a couple of times, that we just, that was the biggest thing, is to learn to question. It actually happened in the last show where it happened to me, actually, where I just went blank. And Josh Allen was on the stage with me, and he just turned around and asked me a question. And I'm just like, I was Karen. So I gave it back at him with, force, and we carried on.
Yeah.
We were able to do that.
Well, that is one talented young man.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He just amazes me. But then there are so many people in this community that do.
I agree.
People say, Sioux Falls and the surrounding area, come on over to our fine city and region, and you will see that we have very, very talented people in all aspects of the arts. I still remember when I first started at Tequila Radio, long time ago, Sarah Crosby had just moved to town and she was starting DAPA.
Oh.
And she came in and after we were finished on air, she says, Dave, the kids in Sioux Falls are just as talented as kids in Los Angeles, Chicago, or New York. They've just never had the opportunity. And she wanted to bring opportunity. And I think of that, the way that the arts community overall has blossomed in this area. I credit her and then also Jim Clark for starting the sculpture walk. And the pavilion was just coming out about that same time.
Yes.
Wow. And, I would have to actually count, but, you are individual guest number 440 or something.
Think about that.
Yeah. Think about that there are that many. And then I have a never-ending show because I keep going to events. I go to plays and musicals and I see somebody and I go, oh, wow, that was phenomenal. I need to talk to that person, get him on the show. And when I first started the show, before I started it, I had to write down for myself a guest list of people I wanted to interview. I know I had 50. It was probably closer to 75 names on there. I only got around to about half of them because something would come up and I go, oh, in goodness, man, this is talent. And I want to let other people know about it. And, and then it was great because I love it then when the talent also goes to watch other talent and support them. I mean, that's the last time we saw each other.
Yes.
Because we went to see another play and our mutual friend Mike Richards was in it.
Yes.
Valerie Aarons is a very dear friend, and some fun stuff that took place in that, and just a great, great show. And, we keep coming up with great shows, too. And we've got so many places you can act in now. Some of the small theater companies are coming about.
Yes, just a couple. I mean, the one that I notice is Super Troopers.
Super Troopers, the latest, yeah.
Just the latest coming up. And some of them, it's like, oh, where was this one?
Yeah.
It's getting your name out there too.
True.
And getting whatever social media that you can.
Yeah.
The exposure.
Because we got them. We got the Monstrous Little Theater Lab.
Yeah, Theater Lab as well.
And of course, one of the ones that did pretty okay, that Goodnight Theater Collective, I think they might make it.
Yeah, they might.
So you tried out for Good Night, but didn't get in.
Yeah.
Who else you're wanting to act with and get into different shows?
I will say that I'm a little scared of Premier Playhouse just because that is such a large stage to me.
It is.
Though I've given him, like you mentioned, I've given him credit as well. But the reason why I even started doing an audition was because of Mike Richards.
Yeah.
And so that's why, and tiny little stage of MCAP is, I'm like, yes, I can handle this. There's not going to be that many people there because only seats about 75 at a time. I can handle this. But then when Old Town had Little Shop of Horrors, I had to audition. And I can tell you that was the singing was very nerve-wracking when I haven't had, I did take chorus in college. I even took two semesters of piano lessons in college as well. But after that, nothing. I sing at church. Do a few little karaoke, but nothing as far as singing lessons. So
karaoke go to.
Oh,
what song?
I do like Four Non Blondes.
Oh, yes.
So
I love that song.
And I can do very good with Weezer's Buddy Holly or Say It Ain't So.
Yeah. Okay.
So those are some of mine.
Fantastic. Well, I will have to meet you up sometime at karaoke.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to be the senior edition, that starts at 6.
Yeah.
And ends at 8:45.
I know. When it starts at 10, 9. It's like, oh.
Yeah. Goodness gracious. Come on. I need sleep. All right. First time guest, you get the first time questions. Well, it's really only one. It depends on how you answer that, whether the second one comes along. So, when you are not part of the arts and entertainment scene, what do you like to be entertained by?
Interesting entertainment. Yes.
Interesting entertainment.
Yes.
So a little edgy stuff and so forth?
Yeah, no. Just interesting what you're saying as far as the entertainment part. Because when I'm not going to other people's shows,
right.
I do enjoy a few shows, of course, at Washington Pavilion, which not always local. But I do play softball in the summers.
Okay.
I do like, and of course it always falls on the wrong night, but that Dave Holly trivia has been fun.
Yes.
It's been forever since I've gone.
I know it. It's time.
It's so close to my house and to drag somebody with me. I'm just going to go on my own.
Well, there you go. Because you know what? Quite often there's somebody that doesn't have one of their regulars along with them.
Yeah.
Make a team.
Exactly.
I know of 2 different tables that would easily just say, oh, yeah, join us. Yeah.
And karaoke, I do enjoy that.
Okay.
I don't get to do that very often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to go. Well, I used to go. Carrie karaoke's.
Yes.
She knows absolutely every song.
Yeah. And sings from her seat.
And sings from her seat.
Yep. I can get my husband to do the same.
Okay. Yeah. Whereas I got to be in the spotlight, baby.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
There's 2. For the longest time, and it's still one of the 2, Mac the Knife.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other one that I've come to love to sing is Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
Oh, yes. Oof. Very good.
Yeah. And of course, just like me, Frank Sinatra was a big fan of Jack Daniels. So I feel Sinatra. Maybe you can even see the big portrait of him up there.
Take away your beard. Total resemblance.
Well, I do wear a hat quite often. Yeah. A lot like his. Well. Yes. Frank and Dave together again. All right. Well, I appreciate you stopping by and taking some time to be on the show so we can get to know each other a little bit more in terms of the artistic work and the creative work and so forth. But also to, tell us about what they're doing at Old Town with Murdered to Death. Like it. We'll be there on the 15th.
Murdered to death. The cast is quite a large ensemble.
Yeah, it is.
Of 10, and it is quite interesting. The different characters that come together, and the nuances that some of them have. Of course, that's what's going to make people laugh a little bit.
True.
And one thing I would suggest when watching is pick up on some of the things, the stories that we're telling early on, because those are clues.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Laree Giovannettone.
Yes. Oui.
I appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing. It's wonderful.
Thank you, Dave.
All right. We'll be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment. Looking for something easy, local, and just a good time? Phil's Pub is the place to be. Tonight, don't miss The Trap the Queen of Spades, hosted by Sioux Empire TNR, a fun night for a great cause. Then May 2nd, Chris Lager and the band take the stage at 7:30, doors open at 6, and the pub opens early at 3, so you can watch the Kentucky Derby pre-show and then make a full day out of it. On May 9th, it's the next Writers Round featuring Ron Keel, Whiskey Rich, and Natty Jean, hosted by me and supporting Lifescape. And looking ahead, September 11th, Matt D brings original Hard Luck Americana and Bad Man ballads. No cover, just great music, so grab some pizza, bring your friends, and settle in. See more at Phil's Facebook page.
It's a fresh new look for DaveHollyHour.com. Besides catching up on episodes, find Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment websites. See what Dave likes on the Dave's Faves page. Get more information about our wonderful sponsors. Check out the news and notes section to find out what past guests are up to, and sign up for our newsletter. It's all at your searching and surfing fingertips. DaveHollyHour.com.
Never met a meal you didn't like. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Thanks again to my wonderful guests, Dan Heier and Laree Giovannettone. Our show website is DaveHollyHour.com. Now, you can listen to any of the now 317 shows anytime you want. This show is also available on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you all for supporting local arts and for taking the time to download. I encourage you to find your art, find the art you enjoy, find the art you're interested in trying, and we shall see you in the arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, your local dive with music for the people. Chaser's Food and Spirits, XL Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at DaveHollyHour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.